Hi, boys and girls, it's Mrs. Johnson. You might be wondering what this giant box of fun things is in front of me. We are going to talk today about water tables. So now, moms and dads, don't get nervous. I'm not asking you to do anything crazy at home. I'm not asking you to go out and buy anything. You can do most of the things I'm going to show you with things that you already have in your house, okay? So let's start with why water tables. Right? Why do we play with water? Now we all know summertime in Rhode Island, we are at the beach, we're in the pools, we are slip and sliding with our friends. We are outside. We are creatures who love to be immersed in water. And there's a reason for that. So water at a young age is great for fine motor because the way that you move water, you have to hold things. You can't move water without holding on to something to do it. You can move it with your hand, you can move some air across the top of it and move it, but you can't really move water without holding something. So for example, spray bottle. You're gonna fill that with water and you're going to have to squeeze it with your fingers. And these fingers are the same fingers you're gonna use for writing and drawing with. You might want to, on your sidewalk, use some paintbrushes or maybe an old toothbrush. Don't worry, this was never in anybody's mouth. Here at the school, we just have some that we use for painting and for this purpose, for fine motor. So the kids know that here at school, when we're outside and the weather's nice, we always try and get some paintbrushes and water out there, and they're just painting with water on the sidewalk. They watch it evaporate. So remember last week we talked about evaporation of water and condensation of water and then precipitation of water when it comes down, evaporates up, clumps together, falls down. So they watch that happen real time when they're painting on the sidewalk or the driveway with water. So easy, no mess fun, okay, for outside. You can do that with some sponges too. I used to have this old paint sponge. You can just stick it in the water. So one reason. Another reason, science concepts. So why'd the water get dirty when we played with it outside? What happened when I added rocks to my water? Did the water actually grow? Or is there just more stuff in here now? And so there's not as much room for the water to be further down. Where did the water go? It must have evaporated, right? So those sciencey concepts, those questions that we ask when things happen and we don't know why, it's a great time to really spark conversation about things. Also, the sensory feeling. Something that I learned a long time ago is that the best way to calm the inner beast is water. Drink it, right? Drink it, get in it, be near it, okay? So the best way for me, I know, to calm myself when I'm having like just a really crazy day where I'm just feeling that kind of turmoil inside about like things aren't right, water. I either need to drink a glass of water because I'm getting dehydrated. I need to be in the water because my body needs to feel itself weightless and floating, like in the ocean or the pool. Or I need to be near the water, the sound of it, the sight of it, the smell of it. All those things, all of your senses combine to really feel water. And it's a very calming thing. So if you haven't done it yet, get in the car safely. Drive towards the ocean. You don't even have to get out. Roll down your windows and just smell the salt air. Trust me, it's gonna help. We've done it a few times with my children, okay? And that's only if you can do that safely. And then the last reason why is to discover new ways to make water move. You know, if I pour water through a funnel, but the funnel's outside of my bin, the water's not gonna go back in the bin. It's gonna go wherever this funnel's pointed. Or if I'm pouring and I don't pour, I pour to the side, it's not gonna get into my funnel. Also the idea of sinking and floating. And I know one of my favorite things when I was a kid to do was to just lay in the water and float. And you can kind of make that happen with your hands in water. You can kind of make your hand kind of weightless and make it just kind of float on the top of the water. That's such a great feeling. You can also press hard with your hand and make it sink in the water. Same thing with things you put in. If I put a cup in the water with nothing in it, it's gonna kind of float at the top and then eventually it's gonna topple over and fill with water and it's gonna sink, right? Why? Well, like Mrs. Barber talked about, that's right, with the fish's air bladder, right? It fills up with air to float. So if this cup has nothing in it, what's in it? Air. So it's going to be floating at the top with air. And then as the air goes away, water comes in, air goes away, it's going to sink, okay? So Mrs. Barber talked about that. Ooh, another tool. Now you may not have eyedroppers at home like we have here at school, but you may have medicine eyedroppers. If you want to use those, just boil some water. Mom and dad, not boys and girls. Boil some water, stick these in that water, not over the heat, just in the boiling water. Leave it there for 10-15 minutes and then take it out, make sure they get really dry. That'll get any traces of medicine out of there so that you're not possibly getting Tylenol in with your water table, okay? But the other thing you can use too is, oh my goodness gracious, in and out of my head it went, oh, a straw. So you can do this with a straw as well. You can take this end, you're gonna hold it, stick your finger over the top. So you're gonna stick it in the water, just pretend. There will be water soon, I promise. Stick it in, finger over the top, lift it out, and there'll still be water in the tube. It is almost the same feeling as pinching that. So let's move on to other things. So I've shown you some tools. Now I want to show you some ways to use the water table to make different experiences throughout the summer. Okay, so I'll be right back.